Hi everyone, Ann Butler here from Bella Crafts Publishing. I am excited to be here today sharing an upcycled project from Plaid using Mod Podge. We all love Mod Podge. It's been around for as long as I can remember, and when I first discovered it, I was decoupaging everything. And today I'm going to upcycle some cans. I like upcycling because it's something I've done for a long time. I used to do craft fairs years ago. And even back then, I was upcycling cans. So I would go through and go through the grocery store looking for certain kinds of cans. And you might start doing that now too. But you can do so many things and create so many cute projects. Oops, this way. So many cute projects with decoupage. So I'm excited to be sharing that with you today. Go ahead and post a comment so I know you're here. Lisa is not here today. She is not feeling well. I think we've been friends for so long. Hi, Gina. I'm so happy you're here. Lisa and I have been friends for so long. I think I used to get bronchitis every single year, especially after a big event. And I think Lisa has just sympathy for me all the time. And she has had some kind of bronchial thing going on for 2 years now. Hi, Jeannie. Yes, I hope Lisa gets better. So she is usually here at noon, but I told her not to worry, just get some rest, take care of herself. And I would go at noon instead of 2 because I have got a lot of things on my plate. Getting this done earlier is good. So like I said, today we are working with Mod Podge. And Mod Podge comes in so many different varieties. Today I'm using the outdoor Mod Podge because these planters, I'm not sure if they'd be inside or outside. Hi, Michelle. But Mod Podge comes in, okay, so regular matte. And of course, this is the matte and glossy. I love the glossy. But it comes like that, and it's now in an outdoor finish. But it also comes in a spray, which I don't know if many of you have seen. The sprays are really cool, and you might want to give those a try. But one of the ones that I have found that I just love is this pearl finish Mod Podge. I mean, it gives it like just a luster and just a light pearlish finish, and it is so beautiful. But today we're going to do the outdoor because these planters, I've been making planters for years. And okay, so here is one of the planters I made. It has a cactus in it from Texas, and this has grown quite a bit since we've come home. It is huge. This is a coffee can. And like I said, I started 20 years ago when I was doing craft fairs. I was always looking at certain kinds of cans and saving them for something or other. Now this, let me see if I can get it out of here. This is a napkin. So they have so many beautiful napkins out nowadays. And if you do this, it just looks stunning. And this is the top of the coffee can because I did holes in the bottom of this so the cactus would have, the water would drain through. And this fits right on there. But today I'm going to show you something different. I've been wanting to make these for quite a while, and today's the perfect time to do it. I'm not going to put this in here in case I show it to you when it's down. But today we're going to smash some cans. and decorate them with napkins and Mod Podge. So before we get started, I want to remind all of you that we have a free craft magazine that comes out 4 times a year. The spring issue is out right now. If you want, you can sign up on our website or go to our Facebook page, and where it says learn more, you can sign up right there. And we send you the new issues as they come out. So the summer issue will be coming out later this month. I am currently working on it. And with that, I'm going to put my camera down and get started. So if you have any questions, I will turn my camera toward me so that hopefully I catch them. And okay, see, I'm going to change something real quick. And there we go. So this is what we're working on today, cans and Mod Podge. So this is, my camera's not too close. This is one of the coffee cans I did with napkins and Mod Podge, and they turn out so beautiful. And you're only limited by the napkins you have, right? I mean, you can have there's so many different varieties. Like these ones right here are from the dollar store. So they're beautiful, they're florals. I try and pick up napkins wherever I go. Really like this one. And at the dollar store, that's a great deal. They cost $1.25. Here they are outside of their packages. But this is just beautiful. That section right there. And most napkins are 2 or 3 ply. These two I happen to get. Isn't that lovely? I got this when I was traveling, and you can go into department stores and discount stores and find all sorts of napkins. And then this is the one I used on this. So check out the napkins. You can also do this with paper, but when you use napkins on cans, the background just kind of disappears right into it, and it's awesome. So like I said, most napkins are 2 or 3 ply, and you want to use just 1 ply. So you start at a corner, and this is the most difficult part of the whole project, right? Taking that napkin off or getting that napkin apart. Just getting it started. So as I'm quiet here, I'm just trying desperately to get this apart. I was going to show you a trick to get the first and second layer apart, but I might have to use that trick for this one. It comes off so easy when you're alone in your studio. So that's one layer. And this bottom layer is usually nice and clean. So if you want to use that, you can. Now there's still 2 layers here. And I found if I kind of put, because like right here, you can tell it's kind of embossed along those edges, which is why it sometimes makes it harder to get them apart. But if you take and very gently pull between these 2 layers in the middle where it's not embossed, you can sometimes get a hold of it. And, you know, I have one already ready. But I wanted to show you this could actually be done. Oh, okay, Gina, I'll move up, but I'll also get rid of the banner. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so you just kind of go in the middle. And right before I went on live, this worked like a dream. And because you can feel that they're apart, but because I'm live, it takes a little bit longer, right? Of course, Gina. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, there we go. Nope, I ripped the napkin. I could spend 5 minutes doing this, I guess, but I won't. I just want you to know that you want to take every layer apart. And this only happens because we're live. A person could use the outdoor stuff, then put the luster over it. Yes, you could, Jeannie, because they're both finishes. So you could layer them. Okay, so I ripped this back part, but that's okay because we don't want the front part ripped. So Jeannie asked if you could put the luster over it and then put a second coat of the outdoor stuff on for a sealant. Yes, you definitely could do that. So this is what you want to get down to. You want to get down to one layer. And I have that in this one and this one. And aren't they beautiful? And all napkins are different. Like this one only shows 4 bouquets of flowers, whereas this one, because it's tri-folded, it has 3 on the top and the bottom. And this one from the dollar store, same thing. It has the 3. But what's cool about this one is it actually has that really cool border that you could use if you wanted to line something up and have a pretty border too. So check out all the napkins because they're wonderful. Now, you also want cans. So I'm going to show you what kind of cans you don't want. Like when I used to do craft shows years and years ago, and did this one, I looked at all sorts of cans, and I was always looking for certain kinds of cans. Back then, they didn't make these rounded edges. This would be difficult for the one we're doing today because what you want is actually a can that you can take the top and bottom off of. And with this, you can't get your can opener in here. Now, it's okay to have a lip like this, but because here's a mushroom can, and it had a lip like that. But I was able to use my can opener and get that off. So you can remove that because what we're going to do today is we're going to smash the can. And when you smash the can, it's going to be harder with that extra ridge around there. So you want to look for cans that have a bottom like this on both the top and bottom, so you're able to open it. Unless, of course, you want to make a planter like I did. And that you can remove that inner lip. So then you want to wash them. Like I always put mine in the dishwasher. I remove the label. I put them in the dishwasher. And like this paper here, you want to get all of that off. If you have residue from the glue, it's not going to make that much of a difference because you'll make sure that where the seam is, and that's where it's usually glued, it's toward the back of the project. But if you were making a planter, you'd want to use Glue Gun or something. If you were making a planter like this, you'd want, that was going to be out for people to see. What we're going to do today, this is going to be the back, so it's not a big deal. But you'd want to use Glue Gun or something to get rid of that. And what we're going to do today is we're going to smash it. These are called pocket posies. And you're going to take and smash the bottom of the can. And you might have to, you want to make sure that seam is kind of in the middle. But you're just going to smash it and smash the top a little as you get the bottom further. And then to get this all the way down, you might need to take a hammer to flatten that, or I have a vise out in my garage, so I took mine and put them in the vise and I closed it up. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Dorothy. Dorothy, thanks for putting Bella Crafts hashtag. So to enter this week's giveaway, make sure you guys do hashtag Bella Crafts when you like, comment, and share. So, okay, after you smash your can, you want this part open and you want to try to make sure the seam is toward the back. I'm going to show you what happens if the seam isn't toward the back. I already have this one smashed and I used the vice grip to close that up, and it's closed very nicely. It's going to hang, and when it hangs, you're going to just see that nice front. But you can cover the bottom also. This one was not folded with the seam. The seam is way over here on the side, and I think it makes it bend a little funny. So the one I have here, the seam is in the middle. This closed up very nicely, and it just made for a very nice clean finish there. So that looks really good. After you get this smashed, if you're going to make this as a hanging planter, you want to use a drill or a hole punch meant for metal and put 2 holes in. And you're also going to want to smash the holes down so you don't have any sharp edges. So that's the start of it. These cans were like tomato cans, so they have a white inside, which is great. You can paint the inside. I painted the outside of this with 2 coats of this vintage white. I like it because it's not a stark white and it'll go nice with my napkins. So give it 2 coats. Let it dry in between coats, because if you don't let it dry, if the coat underneath is wet, when you're putting that second coat on, sometimes it can loosen, and then you got little texture. So just make sure you let dry in between. You can use a heat gun to speed up that process. So you can do this with any size cans. I chose smaller ones because I figured they'd be on camera better. Hi, Lori. They'd be on camera better. So after you smash it, put it in a vise or use a hammer to flatten this edge. And then if you want holes, use a drill or a hole punch. And you want to do it after you have it smashed, because if you put the holes in first and then you smash it, it might not go exactly where you think it's going to go. And then here's another one that's just a little bit smaller. So they're all cute. No matter what size you do, they're going to be cute. And then you're going to get your napkin. So I have this napkin prepared. And a good way to do this is to take some water and a brush and just wet it. And tear it. Because that way you don't have a cut line that's going to show up really well. It just gives it a nice finish. And it kind of dissolves into where you're working. Instead of a cut edge that if you just wet it a little bit, that works out really nice. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually come up here, and so I don't have that straight edge. And you just need a little water. And you can even put the water on and kind of just tear it away with your finger too. So I'm going to do this can. And you can just see, let me see, this can's a little bit bigger. You can see how much of it you want. So I think I'm going to want 2 more flowers, possibly. So I'm going to go ahead and just wet that. And get that torn. Jimmy, you hate to buy 20 napkins for one project. Find a friend who wants to do this too, and then exchange napkins. These napkins, Dorothy, this particular one, I got at a Tuesday morning. I had never been in one of those stores, and I saw it, so I thought, I want to go in there just to see what they have. And I saw these napkins and these napkins, and they're just beautiful. So now when I go into stores, I'm always on the hunt for napkins. The dollar store has a lot of napkins. Discount stores have napkins in the party area. And then you can buy some online too. They're more expensive online. But if you have a friend or a few friends that want to decoupage with napkins, you could trade. So then you would have an assortment. Oh, Dorothy, you like my nails? These are actually Color Street sticker nails. Jeannie, who's in here, got me hooked on those because they're easy to put on. There. Now I have 3 napkins ready. I might not use them all, but it's good to have them ready. So with the Mod Podge, I just shake it up. Winners. I've never heard of Winners. Dorothy. I'm going to pour some of this out off to the side here, just so that I have it. Now, when you use Mod Podge, you can use, I have a sponge brush here, but I'm just going to use this brush. As long as I put it into water right away, it will come clean. So you put a coat on, a thin coat on first on whatever it is you're going to be decoupaging on. The crocuses are pretty, I know. And purple is my favorite color. So you do a thin coat. And then you take your napkin and decide where you're going to want it. I think I'm going to put this one kind of like right in the center of this. I'm going to put it up so you can see part of that little note. And then I take and very gently, because this has so many ridges and I want those ridges to show, I'm just going to put it down inside those ridges with my fingers. And then I'm going to just tear part of this away. I'm going to wet it first. I have my other brush here for water. I'm going to wet that so it's easy to tear. And you can come up all the way to the edge. You do not have to. You can come down right below that lip. And then I'm going to do the same thing with just a little bit of water down here and tear that away. Make sure I have this napkin down nice and flat. Then I'm going to take, you need to go open some cans and wash them. Yes, Gina. I mean, seriously, I shop for cans. And then you want to go over it with another thin layer. I have a, just not, you don't want to gob it on. Just a thin layer is good. And right there, just take your brush and get it under that ridge. Isn't this beautiful? And you want to let the wetness of the Mod Podge do the work for you. It just, you can do so many things with cans and napkins and Mod Podge. So isn't that beautiful? That's pretty all by itself. I'm going to pull some of this away right here. Just, I just want to get that little bit off. And then I'm going to put this napkin right down here. So I'm going to make sure there's some Mod Podge over here. And there's some already on the napkin that I just placed. And I'm going to put this one, I don't want to cover any of that up. So I'm going to wet this and come in closer to the flower and tear that away. So I can get that whole thing on there like that. So you let the water and the Mod Podge do a lot of this work for you. And you can go around to the back side if you want. For this one, I'm going to put the rest of the flower to the back, but you don't have to. And see how great that water is with just helping you get rid of all that excess. Slow and gentle. Yes, that's correct, Jimmy. Just take your time. I'm going to get rid of that right there. And before I put the Mod Podge on, I want to make sure I want that whole flower to show. And I'm going to get this one ready too. So this is going to come in from this side. So I'm going to just get rid of some of that and come up a little close. And it seems like I'm throwing a lot of this napkin away, but remember, this is 1/2 of a napkin that I'm using. I mean, it's not much at all. I want to make sure there's a little Mod Podge right over here. And then place this one very gently into place. I'm going to rip that part off right there too. And this part so that you can see that little envelope there. Okay, who all want crocus napkins? I know, they are so beautiful. So then you're going to take just a little bit of your Mod Podge, very gently go over this once you have it in place. And if you get wrinkles, that's okay. Wrinkles are totally fine in decoupage and kind of to be expected because it is hand done, and it's amazing the work of art you can get with some napkins and Mod Podge. So I'm going to turn this over to the back side. And I know I didn't put any Mod Podge down there, so I better get some down there. It just helps it adhere. Now I went over my hole. They'll be easy to poke it. Now I'm going to come over to this side. And again, gently go over this one edge because it's still a little wet. Now you could wet these napkins in advance and have them torn before you ever start your project so that they're dry. And you can also, like I used an antique white to paint this. You could put, if you want it more rustic, you could put a coat of black paint on there and then go over it with antique white or cream or white, and then sand part of it also to have the black come through so that it looks more antique-y. So there's so much you can do. Got that loose piece of napkin right there. And I'm going to come down here with these and just tuck all those in. See, so it's okay that that's open right there. I can tuck all those in. Isn't that stunning? And so easy. I mean, it looks hand painted. I am not a painter. I am a craft painter where I can base coat and do crafty things, but I am not a decorative painter by any means. So you want to let this dry completely and then put on a second, possibly a third coat, depending upon if it's going to go outside. I'd go ahead and do the third coat. If it's going to be inside and it looks good after the second coat, you could be fine. Now, another thing you can do, because I put part of the napkin here on the back, you could go ahead and put the same decorative napkin on the back, or the napkin that you tore off, which I'm going to get the one that came off nicely. That second layer has a faint print of the napkin. Like the first layer that you pull off is usually just white. The second layer will sometimes have part of the print from the top layer. So you could use this on the back also to give it that vintage feel and finish that off. I know this is about tin, but Anne, can you do this if fabric such as a tote bag? You can do it on a tote bag. You can use Mod Podge on fabric. It's not going to be machine washable, you know, so you want to make sure this is a glue and sealant. So just know that you're not going to be able to wash that tote bag, but you could definitely do this on tote bags and on fabric, not fabric, on wood, tin, so many surfaces you can do it on. Plastic. And a tote bag would look beautiful, wouldn't it? So you want to let this dry completely. In about 20 or 30 minutes, come and put your second coat, let it dry again. And as far as the inside here, I would take, I have some trim, and I think the cream would go nice because it kind of goes with that, although on the inside it's white. But I would just take and glue it all the way up at the edge there, just so that it's finished, because when you cut these cans open, sometimes they're still sharp, and you don't want to, even though you would never think a child would put his hand in there if there's a flower in there or something, just to be safe. And to finish it off, I would put some trim all the way around on the inside. It just will make it look so much prettier. And then I do not have any flowers, of course, that match this exactly. But you could take silk flowers and fold that up, and you could stick flowers inside of there. And you could fill it, of course. I mean, you would fill it in with all sorts of little bits and pieces. I'm trying to grab some. But you could fill it with all sorts of cute little flowers. And try not to touch the front because it's still wet. But you could fill it and then put a wire on it. Or you could use, if you were going for a more vintage look, you could put jute through your holes and tie your jute and fringe it so that it shows. But I will get this one finished and share it once it has all the coats and it's completely dry. But instead of doing just the can like this one that I did, which I love, and it's beautiful, and I had been wanting to try these smashed ones, and I think that they are fabulous. I hope you guys liked the project. I'm going to switch my camera up. Okay, so I hope you guys liked that project. I was thinking jute would be good hanging material. Yes, it would be perfect. And if you're going to use jute, once you tie it, you can untwist these edges to fray it a little bit, and that would look really good. Otherwise, this is like utility wire. This is what I used to use when I did craft shows and I did all these cute little cans. I would always put it through the hole, and then I'd you can see it better on this side. I twist it around a dowel rod. I always tied a little piece of fabric on the side. So you can use you can use ribbon if you have a ribbon that is strong. You don't, because you're going to tie it, so it's going to hold it up. So, but I just think that this is such a cute alternative and just so fantastic with the napkins because it looks hand painted and it gives it such a nice look, right? And this is the first one that I did last week that is fabulous too, but it's just as a planter. I put holes in the bottom of it so it has drainage because there's a cactus in it. But either way, this is a great use of upcycling for sure. And Mod Podge, it comes in so many varieties, but it is such a fabulous product. You guys have to give it a try. Is that a spam can? Is this what you're talking about? This is actually International's coffee. It used to come in a tin can, and then they started coming in plastic cans, and I stopped using, I really don't drink coffee, but International coffee, it came in vanilla and caramel, and, it's more like a hot chocolate. I used to drink it until they got rid of the tin cans and they went to plastic, and it's like, I can't use those. I like to be able to recycle those metal cans. So remember to like, comment, and share this video for a chance to win a prize package from Plaid. Use the hashtag BellaCrafts. And I'm going to check last week's winner. I have it written in my phone. So let me find out. Last week's winner was, okay, so it was a product package from Artistry valued at over $75. And the winner, I don't think I saw her in here today. It's Beatrice Mandrill. And I didn't, Madrigal. I didn't say that right. But Beatrice, you are the winner from last week. And next week, it's a prize package from Plaid. So it will be sure to include some Mod Podge so you guys can create one of these fabulous little projects. And when I get that finished, I will take a picture and I'll post it in the group and on the Bella Crafts Facebook page. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the project and take some time to craft because it's good for your soul, like we always say. Jean, you love Mod Podge? I do too. Hi, Sarah. So thank you, everybody. We will see you next week again at 12 Central Time and 2 o'clock Central Time next Wednesday. I won't be doing a live at 2 o'clock because I did the noon live. So thank you all for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye.